So I take everything back to ground zero and start all over. Okay? I've drove him. He fought my driving lines. That's why he's so hot. And when he seen that fighting them driving lines wasn't such a good idea, he got calmed down, decided he could drive. Then we decided that that's where we would go with him, okay? We need to let this horse realize sometimes all he's got to do is just stand there, okay? It's not always go, 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 okay? We have to go slow before we can ever go fast. Rome wasn't built in a day. We have to lay the foundation. And once we lay the foundation, everything else will be there. Get on a colt like this and go to just demand and push, go, go, go. A colt like this will blow his top. And I'll guarantee you that's probably exactly what's happened with this colt. See what I mean? Okay, that's what we need to know right there. That's exactly what we need to know. So, okay, he didn't want to keep his feet still, so we go right back to what we was doing. Right back in the driving lines until he wants to keep his feet still. And we don't care if we have to drive him all night long, one way or another. He's going to realize moving them feet is a bad idea. Okay? Moving them feet is not a good idea. So we go right back to our driving. Okay? Since he thinks that moving them feet and that jumping and trying to frog is what stopped all this, we're going to stop them feet from wanting to move, period. Okay? And here's the cool thing. A horse like this ain't worth 2 cents. Because he'll hurt somebody, he won't even let you get on. So that means that if we have to drive him until he can't put one foot in front of the other, or until he falls over, then so be it. One way or another, he's going to keep them feet still. Okay? If we have to send him to meet Jesus, which we hope we don't, he's got to decide to keep them feet still. That's a bad choice. Okay? That's a bad deal. Because if he won't let you get on, there's no way you can ride him. If he goes to bucking, the minute you swing a leg over, you're in mid-stride, and there's no way you can ride that. Okay? So we're going to put him in the deepest part of this sand we can get him in. And we're going to try to wear his butt down so he don't want to move. Okay? We're not going to give him the option. Right? Probably what's going to happen is I probably have to call in a good friend of mine with a really good mule, suck his head up to that mule where he can't go nowhere, and just get on and off of him until that stuff right there stops. Because that right there will get any cowboy hurt. Been more cowboys crippled over horses that won't let you get on. Just about as many boys crippled over that right there as there has been over boys that's had horses flipping over on them. Okay? And the bad thing is, once we get this colt fixed, before we can get on him, he's already learned that he can buck and that he can buck people off. I can already tell the way he acts, he's done figured that out. Okay? So there's a good chance that no matter what happens, sooner or later this colt may go back to bucking. I don't know that this will ever be fixed. Once they learn they can do that, it's been my experience that it always comes right back and they go right back to doing it again. The minute they figure that, the minute they learn they can do it, that's when they do it again. So we just keep him moving his feet until he don't want to move them no more at all. Okay? He's still got a lot of fire in him. That's fine. We'll take that fire out of him. Right here in these lines, right here in this sand. He's going to let us get on whether he likes it or not. Whoa. Whoa. people will tell you that that's a fear problem. That's not a fear problem. This colt's mad. He's pissed off because he thinks he can get away with it. And we got to show him that ain't going to fly. Whooping on him right now won't do no good. Okay? He's got to realize we're buddies. We love him. But he's got to keep them feet on the dadgum ground. Okay? Nope. You're supposed to turn right there, dude. He's got to figure out that jump right there is not the way to go. Okay? To everything there is a time and a season, according to the wisdom of Solomon. This colt's booking and jumping. That's because somebody's beat the crap out of him and he didn't know what he was getting the crap beat out of him for. Okay? That was not me. This colt's tattling on whoever's messed with him. Whoa. Come here. Oh, sir. Oh, oh. And again, if I hold a grudge and I'm mad and I'm ticked off because of what he did, the colt's going to feel it. Okay? I don't need this colt scared or worried that I'm going to beat on him. I need this colt realizing that I'm his friend and I'm just going to crawl up there and sit down and he's going to let me do it whether he wants to or not. Okay? Whoa. Now, every time he does that, we're going to move him feet until he can't move them no more. Okay? And if that don't work, we're going to call in a mammoth jack mule that can anchor down and hold him. And when we get off of him, it'll be dark 30 when we leave the mountain. And he'll be like, please just ride me. I don't want that mule leaving me around no more. That mule's about to pull my head off. Okay? Oh. Much better. That was much better. Good boy. He's got to realize all he's got to do is stand there. We won't work him. We won't run him. We won't be mean. We won't spank on him. We'll pet him and love him if he'll just stand there. Okay? He's got to realize he's got to just stand there. Now lead him. Now pet him some more because he was good, right? And again, if there's fear in my body, if I'm scared and nervous, my horse is scared and nervous. Okay? So I got to take a deep seat and far away look. Thank God's done all this and don't worry about it, right? Just pay. And just pay. Good boy. Oh, see that colt drop his head? That colt try to relax. See? He's thinking now instead of reacting. That's what I need him to do. I need him to think. Okay? Now, I have no intention whatsoever riding this colt. He don't steer right or left or stop anywhere near good enough for anybody to be riding this horse. There's a ton of groundwork that this colt's missed. People just going to fly in on him. I'll just make him what I want him, and this is what you get when you do that, okay? Not all horses are the same. Some horses will take that, some of them won't, okay? It's up to us as horsemen to be able to figure out what speed and what pace we need to train what horse at, okay? If we can't figure that out, then we're failing as a horseman. I know, guys, I've made those mistakes. I've been that cowboy that done those things. Okay? By the grace of God and several knots on my head, I've learned better. Okay? And just pet him. I'm not in no hurry, right? Good boy. Just pet him. Just pet him. See, I stay at the same position where I can get out away from him if he does do something, right? And just pet him. There. Man, good boy. I hate to have to get a colt this hot. I hate to have to push a baby this far. But again, this is what happens when some people get too much horse that they think they know how to handle. That horse shows them, hey, maybe you don't. And I think that's the way God teaches us as horsemen. Us cowboys, we get to going along there and think, I can break them all. God sends you one and says, oh yeah? Watch this. Because that's the way God works. Guys, we don't ride nothing. We don't train nothing. We don't rope on nothing. Unless God will it. You learn to start every day saying, God will, I'll do this. Lord will, I'll do that. And then you ask the Lord for His will and His guidance every morning at breakfast. You'll see it'll all fall in line. No God in the middle, you ain't going to do squat. Because He'll laugh at you and say, yeah, don't you wish you'd ask me first? Just like any good daddy would, right? Don't you do your kids that way? Or if you do your kids that way, how much greater do you think God does you that way? I tell you a fact. My Jesus said that if you just do right, you'd be amazed at what the Heavenly Father would bestow upon you, what He would give you, if you just do what you're supposed to do, right? Say, what does it mean to do right? How do I do right? Well, you do right by reading and studying that Bible, learning what God wants you to do, okay? That's how you do right. Man, good boy. Good boy. Man, good boy. Man, good boy. Now we're going to lead him a circle or two, and then we're going to do it again. If he keeps doing that up, we might get up and down on him 2 more times, and he'll be done for the night. If he keeps doing this good. If at any time he doesn't, while I'm cooling him out, I'll put him right back in them lines, and I go right back to work with him in the sand. Funny thing about this sand and fatigue, hot sweat, and fatigue will make the hardest head change its mind. And what's really sad, guys, is if you'd have just brought him to me to start with, we probably never had this issue in the beginning. And trust me, I totally understand. Everybody wants to save $1, everybody wants to save this, save that. Well, okay. You got X amount of money in a horse just to get him bought, okay? You got X amount of time, and that counts for something. You got X amount of feed, and that counts for something, okay? Then you got the risk of you getting hurt or getting him crippled, and then you're out all that money altogether. So why not just put him with somebody that can hopefully get it done, Lord willing, you know? Lord willing, I'll get it done. The sad thing is now with everything he's learned, at some point or another down the line in his training, that's going to come back. Doesn't matter if he stays here with me for a year. Sooner or later, that's apt to come back. Horses don't forget the bad, they forget the good. Kind of like people, right? Good boy. Now, I can already tell you by the way this coat's acting, I will never swing a leg over this horse unless he's ponied up to something that can hold him. Good boy. Because that's the only way you're going to keep him from hurting you when you're trying to swing a leg over. Okay? This colt's already learned that he can do that. You know? Now, if we could take him to the river bottom or down there in the dirt, down there in the big mud, get them feet, now see that smacking? That's what we was looking for. He's like, man, that wasn't so bad. That was a lot better than running around this pen. Yeah, we're buddies now. Good boy. When this colt finally relaxed and smacked, he's saying, I understand, I learned. It means he shifted from reacting to thinking, oh gosh, I'm gonna buck him off, I'm gonna explode because this is gonna be so bad, it's gonna be so bad, he's gonna have rooster scratchers and spires and hooks, and I don't know what none of that is, and I'm just gonna blow up. Okay? That's what this colt was thinking every time I stepped up on him. Yeah, I got spurs on right now. There's no way I would get on this colt with hooks. No way. You get on a colt like this with this big a motor with hooks, the first time you get on him, you're going to get just what you got. Big motors don't need a budding speed up. Big motor needs somebody man enough up here to help him slow down. Okay? His motor's going to be there on its own. He needs somebody to help him realize he just be, whoa, chill out. It's all good. Okay? That's what this colt has to have. He needs an off switch. On the other side. Now, one at a time. One screw up at a time. Don't tackle two mistakes at once. One run on the ladder gets you to that level. Tomorrow, the next run on the ladder gets me to this level. The next level, and the next level. If we can get his progression and that light bulb glowing for us to go that direction, and pretty soon we'll have this horse before we do something with it. Take care of the little things, guys. The little bitty pebble. The little bitty pebble of sand mounded up and other sand sticking to it is how that mountain becomes formed. Get the little things right. That mountain will build itself. Take the time to build the little things right. That mountain will build itself. And the next thing is always remember, when we know this colt's already been through some of this, we have to be willing to do what has to be done to get him where he's at right now. I hate to have to push a baby this hard. It breaks my heart. But I had no choice to get him to want to decide to respond. This is what I need you to do. Okay? I need you to quit. I need you to be calm. I need you to mellow out. I need you to try to get along with me, okay? And again, all I'm doing is stepping up on him. This colt right here is probably 2-3 weeks from me swinging a leg over him. Just because I've got to take out everything that's already in him and then try to build back what should have been there to start with. Okay? He's smacking again. I love to hear that. That means he's not nervous. That means he's relaxed. He's calm. See how this colt keeps flinching even when I'm petting him? And he keeps wanting to step aside. This colt steps aside because he's used to people with a sharp-toed boat putting it in here and poking his belly when they're trying to get on, slamming his belly when they're trying to get on, and he's so soft-sided, that hurts. This is one of them kind of colts that you won't need a set of spurs till he's probably 4 or 5 years old, if you even need them then. You'll touch him with your leg and your heel, and he'll get off of you if you know how to teach him to respond to your cues. These little soft-sided horses like this, you go to hoo-gow them, you're going to get just what this colt's doing every time. Guys, there's a time and a place for a sledgehammer. This is my sledgehammer. This spur is my sledgehammer. Okay? That's my sledgehammer. This boot right here is my finishing hammer. Okay? This bridle rein right here is my framing hammer. Why on earth would I use a sledgehammer when all I need is a finishing hammer like you'd make cabinets with? And yet we do it every day. Oh, I'm a cowboy. Look at me. I got spurs on. Yeah, but you smart enough to know how to use them, know when to use them? No offense, guys. Most of us ain't. And I'm just going to tell you, guys, I've been doing this 52 years. Still to this day, when I get excited, I catch myself hooking my horse when I shouldn't. So I'm in the same boat with you, okay? That's one of the main reasons I won't wear spurs even on my finished horses maybe once every 2-3 months. Because my legs are so heavy-sided and so heavy-footed that I can thump him and he'll get over and get out of the way, okay? And then every now and then, just to clean him up, I'll go back to a spur just to make sure he's right. That way I know I'm not doing damage to my horse even by accident, okay? Now, don't want this colt getting in a routine, thinking every time I do that I'm going to step up there. So I just pull that back down and lead him another circle. And I'm letting him think about all that, right? I'm wanting this colt to process what's going on. So now if I step up here this time and he just stays there like a good boy, now that he can finally breathe a little bit, he just stays there like a good boy, then we're going to quit him. If he don't, we're going right back in the driving lines, okay? You say, well, that horse is give out. Yeah, I'm sure he is. But he's got to learn this way, not that way. The worst fear I have is that I send a horse home and I get a call from somebody's wife or from somebody's spouse or from somebody's mom or dad that says, hey, your horse killed one of these kids. Your horse killed my husband or my wife. I will do what I have to do to make sure he keeps all 4 feet on the ground. If I don't, somebody's have to pay with it with their life. That horse right there, by the time he's said and done with it, he's going to weigh 1,300, and he's going to be super stout. Now, can you imagine that horse right there giving somebody the what for before they ever get on, breaking their neck and piling them right there in the sand? Not on one of my colts, it ain't going to happen. If God willing, it ain't going to happen. Because if he keeps this up, and I don't think he will, but if he keeps this up, my good buddy's going to get a phone call and say, hey, we need to send this horse on down the road. We need to send him on to the happy hunting ground, right? We don't, this colt needs to go run through loose and he needs to make dog food. Because if you let this colt go to somebody other than a pasture ornament, as he is right now, he'll hurt somebody bad. I don't want that, and I know good and well my buddy don't want that either. So we're going to do everything we can do to get this straight. And if by 2 weeks by the time 2 weeks is up, if he ain't doing a whole lot better, we're gonna have to back up and regroup by then. So let's see if he's learned. Let me step up here. Now he's kind of calm. He's mellowed out. Right? Man, good boy. He's breathing good. We'll get him looking at us. We'll push that knee in right there. Okay. Push that knee in right there. Oh, don't be stepping over now. And we're going to do the same thing. Step up there. There. And good boy. Good boy. Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud. Whoa, good boy. Man. Good boy. That's what we wanted right there. Guys, that's the first step to fixing the problem with this horse. Okay? Rome wasn't built overnight. And it's that little bitty grain of sand that builds a mountain. Okay? See this colt smacking and licking his lips? Hey, that was good. I like that. Come back, step up there again. Just don't run me no more, right? Okay? I've got to build that little grain of sand and get the little things right before that mountain can ever be there. Guys, please stay tuned. The rest of this colt's training is going to be very interesting, and I think we'll have a really nice horse in the end, or I pray to the Heavenly Father that we will. And if we don't, I'd like for y'all to see it. You get one horse like this and maybe 2,000, unless somebody's already messed him up to start with. Now, sometimes you'll get one that's just naturally this way. And that, like I said, you'll get one of them about every 2,000 head of horses, you'll get one. And, you know, it's flip of a coin whether you get him right or not. And most of the time, as far as ever being truly bomb-proof dependable, you can just about write that off. That's not going to happen. We can get him where we can use him, hopefully get him where we can rope on him. At some point or another, right now, unless God works a miracle, and the Heavenly Father's done that multiple times in my lifetime and made a big liar out of me, and I hope he does it again with this horse. But the bulk of the time with horses like this, getting him completely over that, where that he never does it again, is awfully hard to do. I mean, you just about have to ride him 6-7 days a week, and every day like the dirtiest old mule in the barn. So guys, please give us a like and share and subscribe, comment. We'll sure try to reply and answer your questions. And thank you, and stay tuned. The rest of this colt's next 2 weeks is sure going to be interesting.